Hi, friendly friends. It's Amy from Savor Salvage Scent, and I hope this finds you well on a beautiful fall Friday. Today, I thought I would talk with you about my small but mighty Lanvin perfume collection. For those of you who are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. This channel focuses mostly on all things fragrant. um, I would love for you to stay in touch by hitting the red subscribe button, if you will, if you're inclined, or leaving comments, suggestions, feedback. I love to learn and stay in touch. And for those of you returning to the channel, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm loving your feedback and content. So thanks for being friendly. So I know a lot of people talk about houses, certain perfume houses. Chanel is one of them, one of my favorites. I think Lanvin often gets overlooked or underplayed, and so I thought I'd talk to you about my 5 favorites. And these perfumes range from 1920s perfume to something that was made just recently. So about a 90-year span. For those of you who aren't familiar, the house has been around, I think, since 1889. French house, and started really as a fashion house. And I think it's considered, if not the oldest French fashion house, it is one of the oldest and most influential. I think it's also worth pointing out that, you know, again, Coco Chanel gets so much credit and well deserved, but Jean Lanvin, also a woman, incredible for her to have made such strides so early in time, and just really a groundbreaker in a lot of ways. So I'm going to talk to you about, again, 5 perfumes that I own. They range from very old to new, from very rare, frankly inexpensive, to super affordable and easy to get your hands on. And honestly, I was kind of amazed as I was getting ready for this today to kind of reflect on these 5 and how diverse they are. I mean, I think it's really interesting when certain houses, like Chanel is one of them, has this really detectable DNA running through them. And I also think it's interesting when a house, like in the case of these 5 perfumes, I think they're incredibly different. Really different, and I think that's what I love about this particular collection. So without further ado, oh, and if I didn't mention, for those of you who are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. It is called Savor Salvage Scent, and it focuses mostly on all things fragrant. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much. I love that you're involved. For those of you who haven't, I would love it if you feel inclined to hit the red subscribe button and stay in touch. I love feedback, questions, educate me, share with me. I love this exchange, so thank you for being involved. So I'm going to kick this off with my oldest scent. This is a bottle of Lanvin's Arpege. I love these old bottles. It looks to me like kind of like a men's, or maybe women's at the time, toiletry bottle or even liquor bottle. The color's beautiful, isn't it? Oh my gosh, just so beautiful. So this is one that I lucked out and found on, I think, Mercari. So Arpege is still in production. It's obviously been through many reformulations, but let me tell you a little bit about this. I did not spray this today. I'm dressed to go to Masked, mind you, an art opening tonight for my dearest friend, and so I stuck to one fragrance, and it's not one of these today. So these are on strips. I've worn these all a ton though, so I can tell you how I feel. So Arpege, created first in 1927. You might be familiar today. It's in a round, almost like oval shaped bottle. It's jet black. Most Lanvin bottles, let me take off this cap and show it to you, have this brand, which is representative of Jean Lanvin and her daughter. I believe her name was Marguerite. Um, can't can't pass up smelling that. And this apparently is representative of, I think they were both dressed to go to some kind of like costume ball, and this is actually like based on them dancing together. I think it's just so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And often Lanvin still uses this brand. So this is a very old representation of Arpege. It was, kicked off in the late 20s, but this bottle itself, I estimate to be from like, I would say the 50s. I found this on Mercari for an incredible steal. I think I paid like $45 or $50 for this. And both of my really old bottles of Lanvin perfume had, I don't know if you can see these little stoppers at the top. And so honestly, I think it helped preserve them beautifully. So this scent is in incredible shape and form. So let me tell you a little bit more. So this was created as a gift. The name Arpege, first of all, is based on the word arpeggio, which is kind of like notes in succession in music. And it's an interesting and perfect, I think, name for this scent, because if you look at the composition, I'm not going to share every single note today of any of these perfumes, but if you look online, if you looked at Fragrantica, let's say, the amount of notes in this perfume, it's a composition, it's incredible. I want to say there's like 60 or 70 notes, many floral, and so that's incredible. This was created, designed by Jean Lanvin with a designer whose name is, sorry, I wrote it down because I was not familiar, André Frassé. Apparently he was a designer with her for decades. He also designed the next perfume I'm going to talk to you about. And this was created as a gift to Jean Lanvin's daughter, Marguerite, for her 30th birthday, which is just so cool. I would say, if I had to describe this just in a few words, that this is a soapy, aldehydic, foresty scent. There's a gazillion other things in it. There's a million florals. But to me, I get like a slightly powdery, soapy, foresty smell, and I love it. It's beautiful. It's interesting. It's got some definite similarities with like Chanel No. 5, if you're familiar. So it's got that aldehydic powdery thing, but I think it's a bit more soapy and foresty, frankly. It just has a bit more of a forest feel than No. 5 does. I am a big fan, those of you who have returned to my channel, of just people wearing whatever they like, depending, no matter how it's marketed on the gender spectrum. But I think it's interesting because I think it was created as a perfume for women, but oh my gosh, it could so easily be worn by a man too. I think it's perfectly unisex. So Arpege, just beautiful. And to me, this is just one of the greatest perfumes of all time. I mean, like, these first scents from Lanvin are so important. I think really one of the earliest aldehydic fragrances, I'm pretty sure too. So just a classic, and just beautiful. So lucky. I feel like so lucky to have it. For those of you who are interested in acquiring a new bottle, you can still find them. I just saw a bottle of Arpege at TJ Maxx not too long ago. I was shocked. I think a bottle runs about 20 to 30 online, so very affordable. Of course, it's been reformulated a bit since this is a dark, strong kind of juice because it's older, but still darn good today. So Arpege by Lanvin. Next is, I love Arpege. This is actually my favorite of the two older ones, Scandale. This is a diamond in the rough. My God, I can't believe I own this. Okay, so let me tell you a little story. My whole family is deeply into old things, antiques, junking. And I've always been told when going to a sale or an antique store, don't like prejudge, don't walk in and be like, immediately like, I don't like this place. Really look around because you just never know. my sister and I went out for before Valentine's Day a few years ago to an antique store in my town. And it was one of those days I just didn't have a lot of cash, and I just really wasn't interested in the hunt. My sister was really into it, so I was with her and happy to be with her. But we went into a shop that a woman runs who, she always has great, I am really into vintage clothes, or have been in the past more, and she always has great vintage clothes and hats. Oh, and P.S., part of the reason I'm wearing a hat today is because Jean Lanvin was first a milliner in her fashion trade. I collect old hats, so I thought today was a good day to wear one. Anyways, I went into this shop, and I wasn't really in the mood to buy vintage clothes, but she always has great like hats, hat boxes, accessories, whatever. And I just said like, hey, do you have any perfumes today? And she was like, I have a couple. And she said, yeah, they're right here, and kind of pointed to them. And it was one of those things where I just think she wasn't interested or knowledgeable about perfume, which, but she definitely is about other things that are vintage or accessory wise. And so I saw the bottle. I wasn't super familiar with Scandal. I saw the bottle, and there was a bottle of that, and then also a little bottle of vintage, a really good bottle of Shalimar Parfum. So I was like, oh, hey, they weren't marked. What do you think you might take for those? And she was like, oh, how about $10 for both of them? Is that fair? I was like, sure. And then I got this home. I knew it would be good, but I looked it up, and it's incredibly rare. It's been out of print, I think, for like decades. I literally couldn't find a bottle for sale right now on eBay. There have been bottles. So when it does turn up, it ranges anywhere from like $100 to $400 or $500. But I still wanted to share this with you because it helps tell the story about Lanvin, and this is just so gorgeous. So let me tell you a little bit more about it. So Scandal was created in 1931. And it was the same nose as Arpege. This, I would say, first let me show you this. This blew my mind, and it helped me understand how old this actual bottle is. I think it went out of commission. Oh, I forgot to look. I think in like the 70s or 80s. 70s, I'm pretty sure. Look at this tag on the back. I don't know if you can see. There's 4 digits in the zip code. That's how old this is. Yeah, amazing. So, Lanvin Scandal. To me, what stands out most, oh my God, it's so good. Definitely, this one has a little bit of similarity with Arpege, but this is much more of a citrusy, leathery Chypre. What comes out for me is obviously Chypre notes, leather, a little iris, and iris might even be giving it actually the leather feel. Incense, it's sexy, it's got those citrus notes, there's vetiver in it, and ylang ylang. There's a gazillion more things in it, but again, those are the things that kind of stand out to me. Leather, Chypre, iris, incense, citrus, vetiver, ylang ylang. Scandal is a perfect name for it. It's sexy. Like, it is, it's just gorgeous, totally gorgeous. So if you ever get a chance to smell this, even if it's just like a little sample, I would say try it. It is one of the best scents I've ever smelled from that time. Like, I would have to say, I think I like it even more than number 5, and I love number 5. So Scandal by Lanvin, incredible. Paid $5 for it. So that also might give you some hope. Just look in your junk stores and your thrift stores and your antique stores for bargains. You just never know. I've gotten some incredible bargains when people just aren't into perfume. They don't care. So, all right, next is what I would call a holy grail perfume. This is one of the most successful blind buys I have ever made. It is Clair du Jour. So, light of day. I don't know if you can see the little kind of sun motif. I had read about this. I'll tell you, I was starting to get into Lanvin and I was researching this probably about 10 years ago. And I had this amazing experience where I went with a couple friends to walk around in the summer in their town, and we were on our way to a farmer's market. And my friend is super, super involved with gardening and CSAs. And I said that I wanted to get some honey that day. And as we were walking to the market, I said, my God, the air is incredible. Like, what is in the air right now? And it just was so, 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 so ripe and heavy and gorgeous. And he's like, oh, that's black locust. Don't you know? And he said, actually, if you're looking for honey, you should there's black locust honey being created or sold right now. And basically, yeah, I guess because there's so much of the black locust in that town that the honey that they were selling was created by bees who basically were using the black locust. And so the air had this incredible smell, and the honey had this like incredible taste, this beautiful floral taste. So I went online immediately looking for like what perfumes have black locust in them. There are hardly any, frankly, that I could find with like a predominant black locust note or feel. What came up was this Lanvin perfume, Clair du Jour. So it was released at first in 1983. It is out of commission. This was, I could not find the name of a nose for this one. Light of Day is a perfect name for it, again, and it's, the notes that really stand out for me are the black locust, which is this sweet, heavy, God, just lovely, gorgeous floral, white floral, and hyacinth in a big way. But often I find when people try to represent hyacinth, it's really screechy. It is not in this. This is an aldehydic perfume, but I would say it's not your grandmother's aldehyde. I love old aldehydes or representations of, like one of these I talked about earlier. But this is more one of those sparkling aldehyde. It's not like heavy. And so you get black locust, hyacinth, aldehyde, and for me, I even get like a little bit of a dewiness. So to me, Light of Day is perfect. It is literally what it feels like to experience sun rays like that. It's just so beautiful. And to me, it's just not your average white floral. Like the black locust really lends something to it. I had to look for this for, almost a decade. It was just so, so, so expensive. But every once in a while, literally like once or twice a year, you can find somebody who just doesn't value it as much. And I got this about a year or two ago, I want to say, for, I think I paid $40 or $45 for it. Incredible deal. You can still sometimes find the soap and the talc and stuff on eBay, but highly recommend Clair du Jour by Lanvin. Okay, so now we're going to move into kind of modern day Lanvins. Two I want to talk to you about. Okay. The next is Rumeur. I would say both of these modern scents, people are really split about. I love them both, but they both have things in them that I would say not everybody digs. Therefore, I love them because I find them to be like, I think they'd both be great signature fragrances. They're really cool. I think they're both a little offbeat. The first I'm going to talk to you about is Rumeur. Really distinctive, cool bottle. Does it look like a grenade? I'm not sure. It says Lanvin in the little ribbon there, which I think is pretty. I kind of like the modern text. Really beautiful, heavy bottle. This is one of a handful of bottles. I don't know if I've mentioned this to y'all before, but some of my favorite perfumes have been perfumes that have broken in stores. And I'll just smell and be like, what do I smell? And I'll be like, oh, that bottle just broke. And Rumeur is one of them. I was in a TJ Maxx, and I'm just going to tell you, this girl is a beast. I hate when people say that. I shouldn't say beast. This is powerful. It is strong. It's incredible. Not for everybody for that reason. And this sucker had broken in a store, and I was like, the whole store was like, woo! And it was one of those, it had just broken, I think earlier that day that I was there. But as I was kind of walking around and stuff, it was just like drying down, and I was like, my God. It was one of those things at first, it was like almost too much. And then when it dries down, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So let me tell you a little bit more about it. It was first created in 2006. This is a Francis Kierkegaard creation. Many of you will know that name from Maison Kierkegaard. You know, those perfumes are gazillion dollars, beautiful, like Baccarat Rouge is at 540, gazillion others. He has created for Jean-Paul Gaultier, oh my God, so many houses. Just, I mean, look up his name and it'll blow your mind. And a lot of them incredibly expensive. So to me, I think this is a really great creation for pennies comparatively. This you can find for like, again, 20 to 30 bucks. I think I paid 25 for this. This is my second bottle. I love it. It's beautiful. But it is, I would call this strong, sweet, almost like sticky, magnolia, a hint of rose, and musk. Maybe a little patchouli. I forgot to check. When it, again, it's pretty bold. Like this is literally a 2 spray tops. That might even be a lot. This is one that can give you a headache if you're not careful. But when it dries down, if you don't overspray, it is so beautiful, you guys. Just so, so beautiful. The magnolia, again, a magnolia is another one that I think is really hard to do well. It can be very screechy. And this is a powerful, powerful, beautiful scent. And when it softens, it's just gorgeous. So, Rumeur by Lanvin. Beautiful. Okay. So, last but not least, and this might be the one that people hate the most. But I just love it. It's beautiful. This is me. People hate this bottle. It's cool, whatever. It's got the old, I love that it kind of merges the old and the new. It's got the old emblem or top with this funky font, and I get the glued on rhinestone probably isn't the classiest thing, but whatever. I think it's cool. So this was created in 2013. The nose's last name is Berthier. I don't know her. I think she works for IFF though. And this is such a funky, weird combo of notes, and I love it. It is mostly, to me, and again, many, many other things, but blueberry, licorice, and sandalwood, and it's almost got like a smoky, like a very faintly smoky quality. A lot of people can't dig this because a lot of people don't like licorice. I think this is so cool because I think some of the fruity fragrances, ones where berries like blueberry really stand out, are often sophomoric. This is not. This to me it's so cool. And I think that's part of why this loses people. This bottle to me looks really funky and young, and frankly like it might be marketed to young girls. And this to me is a scent that, while I hope not to sound ageist, this is one of those where I feel like it helps if your nose is developed a little. So blueberry, licorice, sandalwood, it is so cool. So Me by Lanvin. I would love to hear from you on, do any of you wear Lanvin fragrances? What are your favorites? Are there any that you're coveting? Gosh, there's a few that I'm coveting. Oh, and I cannot remember the name. Eclat, I think they are Arpege. Or Eclat. Oh God. Enid, friends, help me. Tell me how to pronounce that. There are a lot of Lanvins I've not experienced yet. So I would love to hear from you as far as if I should have something on my list. And what do you think are other underrated or not talked enough about houses? And that's the way I feel about Lanvin. Have a great day and talk soon. Bye.